Tiffany, your resident expert, checking in with you. Today I'll be giving you a demonstration on how to pluck your part and how to make it look flawless. So we will be going from this. So today we have, this is the unit we will be plucking. This is a Cutie Collection Smart Laced Part 109. The item number is CTS 109. So this is actually my best friend's wig. She found this today and I thought it would be a great example for you. I ordered 2 other wigs to demonstrate on to show you that, but those hairlines looked really, really good. So I wanted to get one that had a really, really tight part so that I could show you guys how you can really transform that. Now here is the inside of the wig. As you can see, it's got a very, very thin strip of lace, but we can work with that. It does have the hard lace on it, so I'll show you guys how to cut that off as well. Before we begin, these are the materials that I'll be using. I have just your regular standard rat tail comb. I have a pick. Now, all of these things are optional. You can use any of these. You can use any combination of these. You don't need all of them in order to do this. I'm just showing you a couple of different materials that you can use to accomplish your same goal. So this is just your standard pick. Now, this is what I prefer to use. These are pointy tweezers. They come to a very, very sharp point, so they're good for picking up the hairs that you want and not grabbing too many at one time. This is a small pointed brush that I use. I use this just to apply powder into the part. This is the powder that I use. This is just my regular face powder. This is the dual finish powder from Lancome in 520 Suede W. And last but not least, you just need a pair of scissors. These are hair scissors that I got from Sally's. They were about $25, but they were well worth the investment. They're great for cutting your wigs. They're great for cutting lace. You can use these for pretty much everything. So I do recommend a nice pair of hair cutting scissors. All right. So this is how I like to hold the wig because I think that this gives you the best angle for you to be able to see what you're doing. I have one finger inside and underneath the lace. I have my one thumb holding the rest of the hair down and my other finger holding the hair out of the way. That way you're able to clearly see the part that you're plucking and you'll be able to see your finger underneath it as you pluck it to make sure that you're getting it clean and crisp, all right? So I take my tweezers and I take just one side of them and I will stick that in there. I find the actual natural part where it is and then I stick the tweezers right along the hairline and I just gather up a very, very small amount of those hairs. And then I'll pull those up, separate them. Now this is what you're gonna wanna tweeze out of that part. Now double check and make sure that you don't have too much picked up. And you're not going to want to pull all of this out at one time because you will rip your lace. So take this section of hair that you sectioned out and then take 5, 6 strands, no more than that at one time. I wrap those around my finger and just pull it straight out. This is how much I pulled out at one time. You're also going to want to make sure that you get it out clean. Don't rip the hair. You want to pull it out from the lace, not rip the strands of hair. Wrap and pull. Wrap and pull. Now, with soft lace units or the Swiss lace units, there's not going to be as much resistance. That hair comes out much easier with soft lace. But like I said, this is a hard lace unit. So you are going to have to pull a lot harder, but you do run less of a risk of ripping your lace with this type of lace. So as you can see, that's opened up a little bit already. We'll just keep pulling up here. You can also use the tweezers to pull them out if there's only 1 or 2 that you want to rip out there. And we'll just go back over that section until we can start to see what looks like a clean scalp.
I've been dancing all night. I've been drinking all night. Standing there hoping you bump into me. All these Tonight I wanna be a bad girl. Tammy got that good, that act right, that keep me coming all night. He give me that show out, that lights out, but boy give me the midnight. Ooh, baby, do what you do, baby. Right there, don't stop, baby, take me over the top. I don't want no conversation. Made up my mind, you've got all my time, don't waste it.
So now that the part is plucked, I wanted to put it on the mannequin head so that you could see what it's looking like. It's opened up a lot more. I didn't want to make this part too wide because that will make your wig look wiggy. If you make it too wide, you'll have a red C sitting on the top of your head, and that's not good. So the next step will be to cut the lace. I'm gonna go ahead and do that next. Let's take her back off of here. Now, when cutting lace, I generally will just cut as close to the hairline as possible unless I plan on gluing the unit down. A style like this, I wouldn't glue down, and my friend is also not going to be fooling with that, so there's no point in leaving any lace for her to cut or have to blend or have to hide or anything like that. So I'm just going to cut it as close to the hairline as possible.
Tonight I wanna be that girl. Tonight I wanna be a bad girl. Tammy got that good, that act right, that keep me coming all night.
Okay, here we are at the very, very front, back to where our part is. And here is a little trick that I saw on YouTube in order to camouflage your lace. Now, this is something that you do at your own risk, and this can overall shorten the life of the unit. You do run the risk of the lace ripping back. But what you can do is take your scissors and cut just a very, very, very small V right in the front. That will help hide your line of demarcation. If you had a real plasticky line of demarcation, I like to pick those off with my tweezers. You have to be very, very gently, but you can just pick that plastic right off, and that will help to hide that line of demarcation. This wig actually doesn't have that, so it doesn't need any extra tweezing underneath, but there you go. That is what your new hairline looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and try this on so that you guys can see what it looks like on. And I'll also give you a couple of tricks on how to make sure that that doesn't move or shift or slide for you. All right, welcome back. So this is what she looks like on. All I've done is literally slip it on my head. I'm gonna show you guys how I actually will put it on. I'm also gonna show you how I glue the part down to make it look like it's actually growing out of my scalp. So here are the materials that you'll need. Once again, they gotta be glued. I like the black bottle. I've never used the white bottle, but some of the things that I've heard about it have me too scared to even try it, so I stick with the black. I also use the Freeze Blast spray. This stuff is amazing. I use it on the hair, I use it on the parts, I use it on gluing. It's really good hairspray. So I got both of those at Walmart. They were both like $3 each, so very affordable. So now that I have it on, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit more powder in the part just so that it looks as seamless as possible. Because when you put the powder in the part, it kind of falls through the lace, so you kind of have to have it on your head for it to stick good. Alright, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it forward just so that I can see. I do have a brown wig cap on underneath. I'm gonna pull it forward so that I can see exactly where I want it to be positioned at. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit of edges that I have out and create a little bit of a part. All right, I'm gonna line that part up with the part of the wig. I'm not really gonna leave any of my own edges out. I don't generally do baby hairs or anything like that on my units. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the gel, and this is just an eyebrow razor. You can use anything with a fine point on it. You can use a rat tail comb. This was just what I had handy at the moment. So I'm gonna take just a small dab, just a little dab of the gel onto the end of my comb or eyebrow pencil. And then I'm gonna put that right there where that little part is. It does not take a lot to do this. You just need a little bit. And spread that out just a little bit so that it can catch those flaps on the V, okay? You take your freeze spray, be careful not to get that on the hair. I'm gonna take my blow dryer to just blow dry that down a little bit just so that it starts to get tacky. The same concept for when you're applying lashes. You wanna make sure that the glue is tacky before you try to stick it, otherwise it's just gonna slide around and it'll take forever to dry. So I would say I held that blow dryer on there for maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds to a minute at the very longest. You don't want it to get too dry. It'll start to turn a little bit tacky and a little bit white, if you guys can see that, when it's ready to stick. Now I'm just gonna pull the wig forward right over that spot. And I'm gonna use my finger to hold that in place. You don't wanna put your finger where the actual glue is because the oils on your hand can help to, or can cause the gel to turn white. So try not to get your fingers in the gel. Use that same tool or instrument or whatever you used in order to lay the gel down to kind of stick it and cement it in there. You see that? Now you can put a little bit more powder there. If you got a little overzealous with your gel, you can use a Q-tip to clean that up. I do recommend waiting until that is completely dry. So what you can do is just put a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip or a cotton ball. I don't recommend the cotton ball. Don't use cotton ball because you'll end up with little cotton fibers if you use the ball. The ball sheds really bad in my experience. So I just like to use a Q-tip. And then I just go over that a little bit more with a little bit of powder just to cover anything. And you're good to go. This unit is a little bit humpy for me, so I'm gonna go over it with just my curling wand. I've got this on like a medium-ish setting. It's at 320. This unit said that it was safe up to, I think, 390 degrees, so I'm gonna trust that and hope I don't melt her hair. So this is the final look. This wig is gorgeous. She's gonna be so pretty in it. I can't wait to give it back to her. If you guys have any questions, I will be available. We're traveling for the holidays and things like that. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to do this on live, but I will be around and available to answer any questions you guys have in the comments. Happy holiday season. I hope that everybody slays. If there's anything that I can do for you guys, let me know. Other than that, I'll be back next week live for you guys with another tutorial. Happy holidays, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.
Who is she? Do you see her in your dreams? Maybe not. So why is she taking my spot? She can't love you like I love you, touch you like I touch you. She ain't got what's between